In this video, I'll explain you the basics of ISO 27001 Internal Auditor course. So, who is it intended for, how is it structured, how to prepare for it, and also show you lessons that are included in this course using as an example Advisera's free ISO 27001 Internal Auditor course. So this course is intended for internal auditors, so people who need to learn how to become and how to perform internal audits for 27001 in their companies. And this course is important because if your company goes for ISO 27000 certification audit, then the certification auditor will look for an evidence of competence of the internal auditor. And the best evidence to provide is actually the certificate from the ISO 27001 Internal Auditor course. This Internal Auditor course usually lasts for 2 days, so approximately 16 hours. In some cases it can actually go towards 3 days, but this really depends on the training provider. And when you compare this course with, let's say, Foundations course for 27001, this Foundations course usually does not have this part where it explains the details about the auditing. And if you compare Internal Auditor course with Lead Auditor course, then you will see that Lead Auditor course is much longer and that the Lead Auditor course goes much more into specifics on how to perform certification audits, whereas Internal Auditor course is more focused on how to perform internal audit. Internal Auditor course usually consists of lessons and an exam. And I'll show you now how these lessons look like. Okay, I'm showing you now this Internal Auditor course from Advisera, and you will see that these lessons are more or less the same or very similar to other training providers. And yeah, you can also enroll here for free, or if you want, you can also go for the exam if this is what you're aiming at. Okay, when you click curriculum, you will see a list of all the lessons. So first of all, let me explain you the structure of these lessons. So there are 10 modules in total, and the first 6 modules, so modules 1 to 6, explain about the standard itself, what are basically the key elements of ISO 27001, and then last 4 modules explain the auditing techniques, so 7 to 10. So module number 1, introduction. So basically the essentials: what is the standard, the structure, the principles, the ISMS, the main requirements, implementation, documenting, benefits, these kind of things, also certification. And then when we go for module 2, this is the planning phase. This is mainly about clauses 4 and 5. So understanding the organization in context, needs and expectations of interested parties, scope of the ISMS, leadership, top-level policy, roles, responsibilities, authorities, and also these objectives from clause 6.2. And then it also shows the clause number 7 about support, so resources, competence, awareness, communication, documented information. When we go for module number 3, it's about risk management. This is mainly clause number 6. So risks and opportunities, risk management process, risk assessment, identification. Also an exercise that is also part here of this lesson. This is basically an online exercise. And then risk analysis and evaluation, risk treatment, statement of applicability, risk treatment plan. So this is all about risk management. The do phase, so the implementation phase, so it starts from formulating the risk treatment plan and then mainly goes to clause number 8, implementing the risk treatment plan, operational planning and control, operating the ISMS, outsourcing, controlling changes, risk review. Okay, when you go for module number 5, it's about check and act phase, so these are clauses 9 and 10. So monitoring, measuring, analysis, evaluation, internal audit, management review, non-conformities, corrective actions, continuous improvement. Here it only briefly mentions internal audit, the basics, and of course the main part about internal audit is in modules 7 to 10. Okay, and module 6 is all about Annex A. So here you have the coverage of all the controls, so starting from people controls, physical controls, then a lot about technological controls, also a lot about organizational controls. Okay, now let's go for the internal audit modules. So first is the introduction to the internal audit. So internal versus external audit, the main purpose, requirements, criteria for internal auditor, audit findings, non-conformities, observations, major, minor non-conformities. Module 8 is about organizing the internal audit, so basically how you're starting to organize, what is the procedure, internal audit program, internal plan, audit plan for individual audit, And then module 9, internal audit elements. So document review, creation of the internal audit checklist, internal audit report, corrective action requests and corrective action follow-up. And then finally the main audit, how we actually perform the audit itself, a little bit about assumptions, then techniques for finding evidence, sampling the records, recording the evidence, interviewing techniques, remote audits, and how you audit integrated management systems. And basically this is how the course is structured. Now, you might have a dilemma whether to go for an online course or for a classroom type course. And this really depends on your free time and the availability of the training provider. So if you do have 2 days off, and if there is a training provider close to where you live, then it's feasible for you to actually go for classroom type internal auditor course. Whereas if you don't really have 2 full days or the nearest training provider is too far away, then you can actually go for an online course where you can overcome these issues. Now, when it comes to the question of which training provider to choose, no matter whether you go for online or for a classroom type course, there are basically 3 criteria that you should keep in mind. And these are reputation, quality, and accreditation. By reputation, I mean what is the reputation of the training provider, and how is this company perceived in general audience. When it comes to quality, by this I mean the clarity by which the course instructor presents the whole course material. So if you can really understand what this person is telling you, and if you are able to learn something from this course. And the third, accreditation. So accreditation basically means that there is a confirmation that this course is of a good quality. And for internal auditor course, it really doesn't matter who is the accreditation body, but you have to watch out only that this is an accredited course or accredited training provider. Now, how do you prepare for ISO 27001 internal auditor course? And the fact is that most training providers do not require you to make any detailed preparations, but here are a couple of tips that you can do before you actually go for this course. The first one would be to read ISO 27001 standard, the document published by ISO. So you should obtain this document and read it through before you go for the course. And the second one is to read articles or watch videos about ISO 27001 clauses, about the process of internal auditing, and also about ISO 27001 certification. And you'll find the links to these materials in the description below this video. Hope this was helpful. And in the description below, you'll also find the link to this free ISO 27001 internal auditor course I was showing you. And you can go through this whole course without paying any fee, and we charge only if you go for the exam. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and please do subscribe to my YouTube channel not to miss any of my new videos, and I publish these videos every week. Thanks for watching!